Here's a throw, back shoulder, Graham, leaping reception, touchdown. Just as easy as that. Just the way you draw it up. Jimmy Graham with his second touchdown reception of the third quarter.
I'm not the kid anyone wants to adopt. I'm the troubled 14-year-old kid everyone stays away from. That's how Saints tight end Jimmy Graham summed up his heartbreaking childhood until one woman took a chance and changed his life and hers. Rachel Nichols has the inspiring story that will end any doubt you have that one person can't make a difference.
Every NFL player has someone, somewhere, cheering for him. Every child is supposed to have someone who believes in them. But what happens when the people who are supposed to take care of you don't? What happens when no one is cheering for you to even survive?
I wasn't a kid who used the word love a lot. That wasn't something that was really passed around our family.
Saints tight end Jimmy Graham grew up here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. His mother spent much of his early childhood handing him off to family members, including at one point his ex-stepfather.
I was living with him for a year, and then my mom was getting paid $98 a month from my father for child support, and my stepdad wanted that money. And my mom said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. So my dad dropped me off at the doorstep of social services for $98, you know. When I was a kid, I used to always think what my worth was, you know, and, you know, $98, I guess, was kind of what I was worth when I was 9, so.
Graham's mother took him back for a couple years, but one afternoon, when Graham was 11, she told him they were going for a ride.
I was in the back of the car asleep. Whenever I woke up, we're in this place, my mom just tells me to get out of the car. We locked all the doors, and my sister's screaming, you know, she's crying, you know, don't do it.
Graham's mother was giving him up to the state, dropping him off at a group home for orphans and juvenile delinquents.
And they put me at this long table with all these adults, and my mom just signs me away. I was just kind of like, this has got to be a bad dream. This can't be my life. You know, it just felt like, you know, I was just dreaming, and, you know, I was just waiting to wake up, and, you know, unfortunately, I never ended up waking up, so.
Graham was the youngest boy at the home, left to fend for himself among crime-hardened teenagers. One afternoon, when left alone in the back of a van, they took turns beating him.
I remember being trapped in the bottom of a seat and people just hitting on me, and, you know, I was probably in bed for about 3 days. My eyes were swollen shut.
Did you ever call your mom and ask her to take you back?
I remember the day I got, you know, beat down, you know, calling her. And, you know, I think it was maybe hard for her, like, I'm not really sure, but, you know, she just hung up on me. You know, at 11, you just cry. I mean, that's really all you can do. I remember being in that place, you know, just crying myself to sleep every night. You know, just wishing to have the chance to make my own decisions.
After 9 months, Graham's mother finally answered his pleas to take him back. But he says her new boyfriend also beat him, and his mother barely paid attention to him. That's how he ended up here at the Abundant Life Fellowship Church, where a weekly prayer group included free food.
I can still picture this outfit in my head of it's, you know, 20 degrees outside. He's there with shorts on, knee socks, and a tank top.
Becky Vincent was a volunteer at the church who took an interest in Graham. But it wasn't until a few months later, when Graham confided in the prayer group, that he changed her life.
Finally, you know, I just kind of broke down, and I was like, you know, I'm scared that my mom might put me back in a home.
I mean, how do you hear something like that and then go home, you know, and not do anything about it, or just pray about it and leave? You know, I just can't. I'm not that person. You know, it's not me. I just can't do that. I told him, you know, we can talk to your mom. You can come stay with me.
At the time, Vincent had a young daughter, Karina, and was working to put herself through nursing school.
I don't think I'm any different than anybody else. I'm an average person. When you see somebody that needs help, how can you not help a person?
What did it mean to you that Becky was struggling financially at the time herself?
We lived in this tin can. I mean, this thing was, I mean, raggedy as could be. I remember the trailer had no heat, so we all used to, you know, layer up and wear jackets and, you know, pants, you know, just as many layers as we could, and we all slept in the living room near the stove. But it was a family. Becky and Karina, you know, I finally had a family.
Once Vincent got her degree and a nursing job, the family's financial situation improved. Watching her inspired Graham to improve his own failing grades to A's and B's, and his athleticism earned him a basketball scholarship to the University of Miami. By his senior year, he was also playing football. Just as remarkable, though, was who was in the stands the day he graduated: his mother.
We've, you know, just rekindled the relationship. I told her it's, you know, it's something that probably is going to take time, but I do forgive you, but I'll never forget.
These days, Jimmy Graham is one of the most well-liked players in the Saints locker room. And there is a woman who cheers for him every Sunday, a woman who has earned the right to call him her son.
Go, son. I think I'm a better person because Jimmy Graham is my kid, you know.
I consider myself the kid with the 1% chance to make it. I'm not the kid that everyone wants to adopt. I'm that 14-year-old troubled kid who everyone stays away from because they think that he has no hope. She reached down and you know, made my 1% 100, I guess.
There's other kids out there, and they're crying themselves to sleep tonight. And as they lie in their beds tonight, what do you want them to know?
They might think that they're trapped, but, you know, I'm a testament that, you know, no matter what happens, if you're willing to fight, then you can be successful. If you're willing to fight, then you can change your destiny.